So for those of you who don't know, we end all of our podcast episodes with our Ask the Mom segment, where we take a question from our Mom Street community. And it could be on topic from what we've talked about in the episode, could be something totally off topic and Disney related. But we try to answer questions that come from you all, so that way we can help you with your trips. And the question that we have for this week is, what is the best park? Disney World park, I believe, is what they're talking. But we could also talk about Disneyland too in this, for a 5-year-old boy.
That's tough, because it really depends on what they're into, you know? Like, if they love animals, like Animal Kingdom might be your best bet.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't lean towards Epcot and Hollywood Studios. I'd probably say those are the least likely, unless they were Star Wars fans.
Yeah, I'll say unless they're
Toy Story.
Star Wars and Toy Story and they're tall enough.
Yes, those are key.
Then I would put Hollywood Studios in that mix. But I really think Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom are probably my top two that I would debate between for that age range when it comes to Disney World.
Yeah, I think Magic Kingdom in general is like good for like all ages. There's something for everybody there between Tomorrowland and Adventureland and Frontierland. You've got a lot of things. So even though like Fantasyland tends to lean a little bit more towards the girls. I mean, Mine Train Through Nature, or not mine. Well, that's the Distery one. No, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, not Mine Train Through Nature's Wonderland. That's bringing it back to Disneyland. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is pretty much good for everybody if they're tall enough for it.
And that's got a lower height requirement. It's only 38 inches. So like your typical 5-year-olds are most likely going to be tall enough for that.
Yeah. But there's also, you've got the teacups and you got driving, as long as they're tall enough to be your companion, probably by 5. So for the Tomorrowland Speedway, so there's a lot of things in Magic Kingdom that you can do. Also, I'm gonna advocate for Tom Sawyer Island. I feel like not enough people go there. I like everybody's like, oh, I've never been over there. And I was like, for kids in particular, it's like heaven.
So much fun.
It's like a literal caves and forts and pirate ships and all kinds of cool stuff that you can explore. So I always advocate going over there if you can find time with your kids. There's usually barrel bridges. They took it out recently and I was like, I think they're just going to bring it back later because it was gone. But yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Magic Kingdom is just so good for all ages, I just feel like it's just such an overall good park to hit a little bit of everyone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely agree with what you said. And yeah, I think Hollywood Studios is a good option, again, if Toy Story and Star Wars are their thing. And I would almost say like both of them. I don't know that I would necessarily make the trip to Hollywood Studios if they only want to see just Toy Story or just Star Wars.
I mean, if they were like
on your trip,
massive Star Wars fan,
right,
and they just wanted to be in Batuu all day, like, then make that dream come true. But
true.
If they have more variety of likes, Magic Kingdom's your best bet. If they love animals at all, Animal Kingdom is a wonderful option. There's lots and lots of animals for them to see there. Really great place to go for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So it really just depends. Moral of the story. It really depends on what your kid likes. And that's why some of these questions are so hard that we get without, getting more info or getting more details from them. We do our best to answer, but it's always going to be heavily dependent on the likes and dislikes of your group when you're traveling.
Yeah, your kiddo. So find the things that they like the most and go towards the park that might have those things. That's our recommendation.
Yeah. So Kate, if you were thinking Disneyland, so like Disneyland versus DCA for a 5-year-old boy, that's hard.
That's tough only because of Cars Land and Avengers Campus, So if they really are into Cars and Pixar and Marvel, then DCA.
Yeah.
But Disneyland has 29 attractions and you're going to find lots of things for them to do over there as well. So honestly, it really depends on what they're into. If they like more of the classic Disney movies and things that would be available in Tomorrowland and whatnot. But they also do have Galaxy's Edge over in Disneyland, right? So if they're a Star Wars fan. So it really would depend. I think either you could find wonderful things to do. They also, in DCA, they also have the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail, which is so fun for kids. Like, we spent so much time there when my kids were little. Basically a big playground. So, and there's stuff for all ages there too. There's like little slides for little kids, and then there's bigger stuff for bigger kids. So it doesn't really matter what age your kids are. Take them to Redwood Creek Challenge Trail. Now, Disneyland also has Toontown, so that's something to consider. That's usually pretty big with the younger kiddos, because there's lots of, you can go to Mickey and Minnie's house, and Goofy's house is really fun for that age. So, I mean, it really just depends on what they're into. I think you could go to either park and have a wonderful time. So,
yeah, I think this just goes to show how smart the Imagineers and creators of these parks are, because they have really truly created so many different spaces that are good for all ages, that basically anywhere you go, Disney World, Disneyland, you're going to be able to find something for almost any age.
Yeah, I mean, even like we didn't throw Epcot in the mix there, but I would say they've got KidCot there. So if your kid likes to explore other cultures, or they like to color because they give them little coloring things each one, or collect things because you can get cards all the way around the world. So KidCot's really fun, and they have Figment over there. And if they're tall enough and they're not scared of heights, Soarin' is great, So there's lots of really, and it's educational. I think parents like it because it's educational, but it's really fun. There's even fun stuff for kids there, and that's like not always been considered a traditional like kids park, I would say.